It's not too often here at Hunt Fish Shoot that we really break down and shoot some of the rifles that maybe we started with, right? Or maybe it's a gun that we find more true to ourselves as before we even started this channel. We really came from a hunting background. And we've made mention of that now several times, but what I want to show you guys today is what I feel is one of the absolute best hunting rifles for the white-tailed deer, right? And that is the CVA Cascade XT, specifically chambered in 350 Legend. Personally, I already owned one of these and we ended up getting a second one for the channel. Mine is in 350 Legend. In fact, last deer season, opening day, I killed a nice doe with my 350 at 178 yards. It's a very capable round. It will certainly do the trick if you make the shot. And my CVA Cascade XT is a sub-minute gun, right? That gun with Winchester PowerPoint, that's 180 grain, basically what you would be accustomed to, like a Deer Season XP, or this is the PowerPoint. We do have some Deer Season XP 150 grain, and then we have Hornady American Whitetail. With my gun, it shoots this in particular about 3/4 MOA to 1 inch, and then the Hornady American Whitetail, it shoots at about 1 inch as well. CVA themselves, if you're not familiar, they are under the same division essentially as Bergara. So the barrels that come here on the CVA rifles are made by Bergara. And then in addition to that, these rifles, they do come in at a very, very budget friendly price. Now, or I should say value, right? Because I don't feel like these have like a budget feel, like they kind of feel junky, right? The bolt handle itself on here is a 70-degree throw. So it is actually less than what you find on a standard 90-degree throw. It's very smooth for what it is. There's a little bit of a zipper sound in there, which if you're familiar with like the Ruger American, it's less than what that would be. Now the trigger and safety on here is just like what you find on an R700. And what most people don't know is the trigger on the CVA Cascade rifles is actually an R700 pattern. So you can use Remington 700 triggers on these, so that's good to know if you didn't. Now on the back here, there's a nice palm swell in the grip, and it's a little bit more vertical than a standard stock, and then it has a somewhat, let's say, raised cheek piece, not real high, but it's just enough to get a good overall sight picture here with our Vortex. This is the Crossfire HD, one of their new ones. So it's a 4-12 with a parallax adjustment and brightness as well, and it has a good center dot, and it has a BDC type reticle, so it's really perfect for that. And then in addition to that, they do come with a nice 20 MOA pick rail on here, and with that pick rail, it makes it very easy to mount a scope on, right? Now you can remove it, and then it does use like a Savage 110 style base. Now up here on the barrel, this is a 22-inch barrel. It is fluted, and it is like a medium profile weight barrel. Similar like a Sendero profile. And then on the front, normally they come with a radial directional muzzle brake or omnidirectional, but you'll see we have a rugged Obsidian suppressor on here. Suppressor wise, it doesn't seem like it's super effective for this thing, but we figure we try it and see if we like it. If we don't, you know, great. But on mine, I just run the standard radial directional muzzle brake. Now on the bottom, it's flat back here, right? And it's a little bit curved up here, but they do give you two spots, one for a bipod and one for your sling. You're able to run a sling on here. And then the rotary box magazine that's on here, it will hold 4 rounds in it. It's very simple to do, and they're cheap, right? That's probably the best part. Like, these things are less than 20 bucks to get. So great on CVA for having that. And CVA, if you're not familiar, again, like I said, they have a sub MOA guarantee, but then they also have a 14-day like return guarantee, right? So if you get this thing out and you're like, man, I don't like it, I think it's a piece of shit. Well, you could take it back to the store and get all your money back for buying this CVA because they stand behind their product. Now, as far as for user adjustability on the rear here for length of pole, there is a spacer that's 1 inch. You can remove it, and it does have a nice butt pad back here that they dubbed the crush zone. I found it very effective. However, 350 Legend is very, very mild when it comes to recoil. So this thing so far, we've shot a group out there now. It's about 1 inch exactly on our very first group out of the gun. So I'm going to shoot 3 groups for you. One's going to be with Hornady American Whitetail. The next one's to be with our PowerPoint 180 grain, and then Deer Season XP. I've actually spoken to CVA, and what they made mention to me, what I thought was pretty interesting, unlike most manufacturers, is they actually make these rifles and they send them out the door knowing that they're accurate with off-the-shelf hunting ammunition, right? So you don't have to go out and get super premium ammo through your 350 or, you know, some of the other calibers to make it accurate, right? They essentially test it with something like Deer Season XP or, you know, the PowerPoint stuff, and they ensure that their guns are accurate with ammo. You can go out to any of your local stores, like here in Ohio, we have Fin, Feather, and Fur, and get the ammo you need to shoot this rifle and it be accurate enough for a hunter. So what I'm going to do, like I said, we'll shoot those 3 groups. You guys will get to see how it performs. The trigger on here is really darn good. It's significantly better than what you find on the Savage and the Ruger American, and the fact that it's just like our standard Remington 700. In fact, this trigger itself is really no different than what you find on the B14 series of rifles from Bergara. It feels identical, how it functions is identical. And then the bolt on here, so you know, it is different than what you find on a Bergara, right? This is a 3-lug or tri-lug design, and that's the whole reason you're able to get that difference in the throw itself. So it's a little bit different than that, but overall it feels good. Let's shoot this thing and see how it performs. Our first group, again, we're going to use the PowerPoint. This is the 180 grain 350 Legend ammo from Winchester. We're going to shoot our top left diamond. It looks like actually like a sub-minute 3-shot group. Absolutely fantastic group there, right? We'll let this thing cool down a touch and I'll shoot the Deer Season XP. The next box of ammo we're going to shoot, this is Deer Season XP. This is 150 grain ammo for the 350 Legend from Winchester again. Our first group is about a half-minute group, if not 3/4. Again, it's just a 3-shot group. However, we're not working to shoot 5-shot groups. It's not important on a 350 Legend. This is a deer rifle for hunters. This is not a target rifle. We're just looking for accuracy that's consistent, and by all means, I bet this thing will do it every time because I know that mine does. Now we let our rifle cool down a bit, and we're now going to shoot the Hornady. This is the American Whitetail. This is a 170 grain soft point. This is their interlock bullet, so pretty common bullet, pretty popular as well. I killed a lot of deer though with the old Winchester stuff initially, so pretty excited to see how this one shoots. I know out of my gun, it shoots pretty well. I haven't had the best luck with the Deer Season XP. It shoots okay. It's not bad. It's very usable. So if you had to, you can. The PowerPoint for me has consistently been the best. And then what I'll tell you is, like I said, the American Whitetail is about the same. So we'll see how it shoots. We're going to shoot our bottom right diamond on the target. All right. So about a 1-inch group with that one, right? So the rifle right now, as it sits, is consistently shooting what we need it to do. I don't know what more you can ask for, but let's go down there. We'll take a look at the target. The CVA Cascade XT. It's one hell of a budget-friendly rifle for the whitetail hunter in particular. And I say that because we are shooting 350 Legend here in Ohio for a rifle, quote unquote. We have to shoot straight well cartridges for our deer gun season, which is about a week. It's after Thanksgiving every single year. Previously, it was always just shooting shotguns, right? And if you weren't doing that as a muzzleloader. Last year was my first time hunting with a straight well cartridge, and I had a lot of luck with it, right? I liked it a lot, and I liked how it shot. The recoil is so minimal, you know, for younger folks like kids or people that are recoil sensitive, older. The 350 Legend is absolutely perfect for you. It's very capable. I killed a doe, again, like I said, it was 178 yards. Just shot placement is everything, as with any ammo. Whitetails are tough, but really, you know, it knocked her down. She ran a little bit and died. What I want to show you is accuracy, right? So our first group was essentially this one. We're still trying to get it zeroed, but then we let her cool down after we got it up here, right? And the first group with our Winchester PowerPoint 180 grain is this one right here in the top left. That is a 1/2-inch group for a 350 Legend at 100 yards. It's really hard not to be happy about that, right? And then the next one was the 150 grain Deer Season XP. Now you'll notice it's not a bad group. In fact, it's a 1-inch group as well. You'll notice it's just a little high, right? And I mean, again, that bullet weight itself is 30 grains less than that, you know. And then the next one we shot was the Hornady American Whitetail. Now that one is probably about 1.25 inches maybe, right? And that's what I've seen out of my gun. Because again, like I said, I have the same rifle. On mine I have a 3-15 Razor. Now, most folks are gonna say that's overkill. It's more than the gun, but I like the good glass. And for me, the rifle comes out once a year. It hunts, you know, and that's it. I just want good glass on it. I like it. Now this Crossfire HD, as you can tell, the rifle's very capable and it will do it. But after that, what we did is Andrew said, hey, I want to shoot it. We didn't let it cool down. He came down here and fired this 3-shot group of this PowerPoint. Like I've said before, my gun is consistently 1-inch gun with the PowerPoint 180 grain from Winchester. It's a fantastic shooting gun. And in my opinion, for somebody that's owned the Ruger American and has one and shot the 400 Legend and stuff like that, I prefer this rifle over. I think it has a better trigger. I think the bolt's smoother. I'm not a huge fan of the Tang type safety. I like the standard R700 type safety. I like the barrel profile, and I think it's really well done. It's a very well made rifle that comes in at a price that won't break the bank and accomplish everything you need it to do during hunting season. So guys, if you're interested, this setup, just as you see it here, is a sub, let's say $900 gun with the scope and the rifle itself, and it shoots absolutely fantastic. It's going to do everything you need for your whitetail, boar, you know, and anything else in between. So guys, let us know what you think in the comment section below.